Hi there, and welcome to your seasonal self-care video for the month of July. I've got three main challenges that I'm finding for the month of July that might resonate with you. And I've also got 3 tips that I'm going to be putting in place to help me hopefully sail through the month of July with ease. Stay tuned for all of them. The last one I think is particularly important. So when you're ready, let's get stuck in. Okay, so before we get stuck in, if you're new to me, my name is Nicola. I'm a yoga teacher, yoga therapist, and I love to talk about, think about, write about all things relating to self-care, as well as being highly sensitive and neurodivergent. I am both highly sensitive, autistic and ADHD myself, so this is kind of like my life's work. Okay, so July. Happy July. I don't know whether you're off on travels this month. I'm sure lots of us are, or just enjoying some time out at home with the kids or from work. I think when you're extra sensitive and there's change, this is going to be a tricky time potentially. It depends. Of course, there's things you can do. So the 3 challenges that I have thought about a lot ahead of the month of July is, and it comes around every time, but it's interesting to reflect on it, is July, I think for me and my household, if you don't know, I have a house full of neurodivergent, extra sensitive people. There's a lot of mixed emotions all in this one household melting pot of emotions. So there's anticipation, there's excitement. The kids are out of school, they're excited. Maybe we're planning day trips or going away. So there can be some anticipation and excitement. But there's also this kind of, the routine's changed a little bit. So maybe I'm a little bit anxious, a bit out of sorts. Maybe there's apprehension about the plans and, getting your ducks in a row before you can go off and enjoy yourself. So there's lots of mixed emotions, and sometimes this can boil over. I think, taking into consideration the fact that it's hot, things can be kind of frenetic and kind of feverish when everything's hot, and the kids get hot and sweaty, maybe you get hot and sweaty, you're trying to pack and all that kind of thing. So there can be a lot, and I'll speak more about this in a separate video, but when you're extra sensitive, there is this potential in those kind of feverish moments to take on board other people's feelings, and that's definitely something I am guilty of, and have to work hard to just recognise, okay, is this mine or is this the kids, and just take things steady. So that feeds into my second challenge really, and they're all kind of interlinked, is the routines have maybe gone out the window completely, or they're a bit weird, and this can be unsettling just on a nervous system point of view. When you're extra sensitive and things change, things aren't as they normally are, then it's just something different, isn't it? It's something that we've got to kind of get used to, and it can take us a while when we're extra sensitive. So that's another one to be aware of. And then my third one, which is, it's such a thing that I really don't like about, not necessarily the summer, but travel in general, is packing and planning trips. I find it so incredibly overwhelming. And it's all well and good saying, write a list. I write lists about lists about lists, and it's the best we can do. But I think the best thing that you can do if you find packing and planning overwhelming is to do what's right for you. And I'm going to talk about some of those in a moment, but it might be taking more time. It might be enlisting help. I have realised I need a lot more time to plan and pack, not just to do it or think about it, but just to decompress from it afterwards, before and after. So they're my 3 main challenges. I'm sure there are plenty of others, but they are the things that as a sensitive person, neurodivergent person, I do find particularly challenging. And it can be really easy for me anyway to arrive on holiday feeling more stressed than when I began to pack, and equally come back from holiday feeling worse. So planning and preparing and allowing myself the time is key. Okay, so 3 main tips then that I've been reflecting on, and that I'm going to really, really kind of take heed of this year. And this has been developed over quite a few years now. But the first one and this is really imperative, and it's going to be a challenge because the summer can be quite fast paced. Maybe it's not for you, I don't know, but sometimes different weeks, especially if my husband's working still and trying to sort the kids out, it can feel quite rushed. But is really taking those, and they don't need to be long, but mini moments to notice how I'm feeling. And I could do that through, I don't know, getting up before the kids and just pausing, or if there's some crazy stuff going down with the kids or inside the home or whatever, just taking myself out and just checking in with how I'm feeling. I'm a journaler. I love to write things down. This is really helpful for me, trying to understand my emotions and how I'm feeling, and also noticing how your feelings impact your thoughts, because they can be kind of like a vicious cycle. Like if you're getting stressed, you can maybe start to have negative thoughts, because we do have a negative bias when we go into that kind of stressy fight, flight or anxious mode. We do have a real negative bias, and it can feed the negative thoughts, which kind of then feeds the stress cycle. So we're human. These things are going to happen. If you're extra sensitive and neurodivergent, we might be more predisposed to these kinds of experiences. The first step really is to just notice and be aware, and try not to beat yourself up about it. It's just having those little micro moments. And then my second tip, which I will be using probably the bedtime routine as for this, but is to keep something as an anchor in your routine. Whether it's the way you go to bed at night, whether it's the way you make your morning coffee or whatever, just keep something as an anchor. If you've gone traveling and you're away from home, maybe you can bring something with you. Maybe if it's me and I was traveling somewhere exotic, I'd probably bring my specific tea bag that I like. So something that is the same, just to anchor you in. And then my third and final tip, and this is the big one, and it took me a while to kind of reflect on these things, and I think this is the one that I find the hardest really, but it is so important, is to lower your expectations of certain things. This is true especially for you if you have that kind of perfectionist tendency and struggle with kind of things not being as you want them. And I find it really hard to stomach this one, to lower my expectations. But if you're a parent like me, maybe the kids eat meals that are not as great as you'd like, or maybe your house is not quite as clean and tidy. Maybe it's lowering expectations of yourself. Maybe you feel this need to kind of, I keep talking about the kids, and I know not everyone's got kids, but if you feel you've got to kind of provide lots of activities for your kids, or maybe it's a case of like feeling that you need to socialize more or keep up with friends more, and maybe you've just not got the energy. Lowering your expectations of yourself in terms of the things that you feel you ought to do and should do, and instead take as much time over the summer to do the things that you need and you want to do. And if you have got a family, it's going to be hard to balance everybody's needs, but you really don't want to come to the end of July feeling absolutely spent, which I've done that many years, and it's a real fine line when your nervous system is very, very sensitive to what's going on around you. So they're my 3 tips. If you are in need of a real pause and you really struggle to kind of guide yourself, look out for my July yoga video. It's not very long, it's 25 minutes, just to move your body. You can do as much or as little as you like, and you can just pause. And also, I do want to share with you that I have a special one-to-one offer happening over the summer. So if you are actually looking for more support and you want to get in touch for things like anxiety, overwhelm and stuff, and you would like to work with me, get on my mailing list or head over to my website and sign up and ask me about the offers for one-to-ones, because I've got a good discount going on at the moment. And yeah, I'd love to work with you if you're in need of that support. Otherwise, if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. It makes so much of a difference to me and my little channel. And yeah, share this with anyone who you think will benefit from hearing these words. All right, take care for now, and I'll see you soon.